Hi guys, welcome to a review of another motorcycle product. Well, I say motorcycle product, bicycle and motorcycle product as it is marketed. This is an anti-theft lock, a U-lock or a D-lock by a British company called Litelok, spelled L-I-T-L-O-K, phonetically. Now I've seen lots and lots of social media videos about these. Mainly from this company itself. It's a nice British company. I believe they're made in Britain as well, which is very rare nowadays, very rare. So yeah, I've seen lots of social media. Every time I go on YouTube, TikTok, Insta, any one of those, I get somebody going crazy saying how wonderful this thing is. And obviously being a motorcycle owner living in London, where bike theft is rife, I needed to invest in more. So I've got a couple of chains and disc locks and throttle locks and all sorts of stuff. But I needed more for when I leave my bike in town. So I watched a video, actually, a review of this. Somebody attacking this with a grinder, angle grinder, battery-powered angle grinder. The thief's tool of choice nowadays for robbing motorcycles and bicycles. And it did take, it ate up a few discs actually. I mean, obviously you get through it in the end, but it takes up several discs to get through. So it's a lot tougher, supposedly, than most other D-locks. It's got this Baronium registered trademark here. I believe the professor who designed this material is a Professor Baron. That sounds like a very grandiose title, doesn't it? Who's calling? Professor Baron. I'll tell him you've called, Professor Baron. But yes, Baronium apparently is this coating, which is supposedly designed to eat up angle grinder discs. So anyway, I was quite excited. I believed all the hype that I'd seen, and I thought I'd invest in one for my motorcycle. Obviously this is the metal inner, and you can maybe see the coating here, the Baronium, which is relatively thick. It's got a kind of a, I don't know what you call this thing here, but it's like a silicone rubber gasket over the lock. It's supposedly a pick resistant lock. That's the actual key for it there. I can't remember if it came with one or two keys actually. I was looking for a spare, which I couldn't find, but maybe it did come with two keys and I've misplaced one. Anyway, so as a lock, it's pretty hefty. It's got a lovely metal clunk to it. I would say it's well designed. It looks nice. And yeah, if it does its job like you see in the review videos where they chew up angle grinder discs, it would certainly slow a thief down. Obviously nothing's infallible, but this is probably one of the more secure ones. Not the most secure, apparently there are other more secure ones available. What do I think of it? As a lock, yeah, great. If I had a bicycle, I'd love this thing, because that would go around the frame of a bicycle and round a bicycle rack at no problem. Comes in this lovely sort of pouch. So obviously it gets dirty around the back wheel of a motorbike. So you don't want shit from that going all over wherever you store this, your top box or side pannier or wherever. So yeah, as a bicycle lock, I'd say, 9 out of 10. However, what I've discovered for motorcycles is it doesn't really fit motorcycles. It's definitely a bicycle-led design that's been extended out to the motorcycling market. And what I find really saddening about this is I keep seeing these wonderful social media videos that this company Litelok is punting out, and they're a bit like the old Apple videos. So there's a guy speaking in wonderment about this game-changing, amazing thing is disrupting the market and changing the game. And, oh, it's so wonderful and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, and it probably is. But the bottom line is, it's designed for bicycles. It doesn't really fit around motorbike wheels unless they're little bikes, 125s. You want this to go right round your tyre and your rim, and that gap there is sadly very, very small in terms of motorcycle wheels. You just can't put it around your front wheel, you can't put it around your back wheel, unless you've got a certain type of trials bike, enduro bike, 125. And I wish they'd stop putting these videos out where you can see it going through a motorcycle wheel, going through a disc, the gaps in a brake disc. These things here are too thick to go. Even the guy who did the review on Bike Social had to cut some of this boronium off to get it to go through his disc, or to get a chain around it or something like that. So I've seen a lot of forum posts where people are saying, yeah, I've had to modify it to get it through my wheel or to get it through my disc or whatever. And what's the point of buying something that's angle grinder resistant if you're going to cut that angle grinder resistant coating off just to fit it on? You might as well just buy a cheap one. So I'm annoyed with it, and I've put various comments on their social media videos that I see 3 or 4 of every day, saying this is a bicycle lock, it doesn't fit motorcycles, please make a wider one. And instead of like helpful feedback from them saying, yes, great idea, we'll make one that's 120 millimeters wide here so it actually go around a wheel, or we'll make a different shape that'll go through most brake discs or something. But no, they just double down and say, oh, there's a template on our website, there's a PDF, if you download it and print it off and cut it out, you can check the dimensions before you buy it, as if anyone's going to do that, for Christ's sake. So Litelok, yes, for a bicycle, very, very good. A very small motorcycle with small wheels, spoke wheels, get one. You know, it's 150 quid. It's a fair chunk of cash, really. What annoys me most, though, is it's being marketed to motorcycle owners, and half of the motorbikes on the market, this won't go around the wheel. It won't go through the disc locks, and they're punting out these videos showing that, which is annoying. It's dishonest. They need to make a motorcycle specific one. Now this is the X1. They do an X3, an X3 Moto, which suggests it's specifically for motorcycles. I think this is 101 millimeters, this gap. Their premium one, which is 100 quid more, I think it's 250 quid-ish, is even smaller. It's like 99 millimeters there. So again, you know, great for bicycles, but no good for bloody motorbikes. In fact, I've started calling this my shite lock, because all I can do is fit it around one spoke of my rear wheel on my Kawasaki ZX14r. And that's pointless, because anyone with an angle grinder would just cut that one spoke in 10 seconds and completely bypass this. You know, useless, really. So yeah, not a happy review. And if you're listening, Litelok, make one wider. People will buy them in their design a specific motorcycle lock with more width here and maybe thinner here, maybe a square one, or yeah, different shape, you know, that will go through most disc locks. Disc locks, brake discs, rotors. That's what I meant to say. But we need more width here, crucially. An extra inch here, that would suit most motorcycles. That would sell truckloads. And the people who bought them would be happy and not bitter and twisted and annoyed like me. And I wouldn't be calling it a shite lock if you designed it specifically